Batman and the Outsiders, issue 9, Brian Edward Hill writing with Dexter Soy on the art, and this is the aftermath of the school office blowing up, which this issue, because I actually, I always, because DC don't have recap pages, and I always have this thing where when I'm reading an issue, and it's usually just from the context of the first page or two, where all the last issue will come flooding back to me. And the first page of this was actually kind of confusing. I was like, who's this person this person that works with Jefferson, this teacher? And then it was actually before the end of the page where it just kind of clicked and went, oh, wait a minute, this is the one who died last issue. And I was like, oh, okay. And it actually,
because of Roz.
So when you turned the page and she was like lying in the morgue and he was looking at her body, I was like, okay, that was actually quite effective. Like, giving us a little bit of a, like, just a sample of her and how she, like how close they work together and their professional relationship. It made the death hit a little bit, because I think even the ending of last issue we said that it was actually quite a shocking ending, because it was like, oh, he just bombed the school, Jefferson School, right. Like that was really dark.
And we hadn't gotten to know, we got from context and dialogue that this was someone that was close to him. And then that pays off in this first page where we see how when he started working at that school as a principal, she kind of pushed him to do what he needed to do, and never made it easy for him. And that's how they ended up with like this really close workplace friendship. And and you can definitely see where his anger comes from through this. And I mean, that's when he confronts Batman.
Yeah, that's the issue basically, is that he's angry. He's angry at Batman. Katana tries to talk to him, talks some sense into him, offers him company so that he won't be alone, kind of thing. And it's basically him talking about how when he was growing up, he like a lot of his youth was like resisting the urge to join a gang or pick up a gun or do any of this stuff and do things the proper way. And right now he feels like killing Raz. He feels like doing something really bad.
Righteous anger.
And it feels like, he's maybe like just getting away from it. And of course, at the end of the issue, the cliffhanger is that Shiva shows up to kind of like say, hey, do you want to kill Ra's al Ghul? Because I'll help you with that. I don't trust her, by the way. This is a double cross.
Oh, no.
I'll call it.
And I also like Superman showing up to talk to Bruce with how to deal with this situation. And because, Bruce isn't happy with Orphan and Duke for running off, basically half-cocked with this new power for Duke, and I like Superman giving him...
And it comes from a good place as well, because Orphan, Cassie tries to say, stop trying to protect us, and he says, never. Like, I'm never going to stop trying to protect you.
You're essentially my children. I'm never going to not.
The scene starts off and Bruce sounds kind of like an angry dickhead, but honestly, by the end of it, even though he was still coming across as angry, it felt more like sympathetic. Like I could kind of see the angry dad. Yeah, he's angry dad.
Yeah. And so you get it. And I like that Bruce telling him about, Black Lightning's not you. Like he's gonna handle this differently than you would. You've had a lot of practice dealing with tragedy. So you kind of let him be angry. So I really like that, and again, it makes it feel like it's part of a bigger universe. Superman even brings up Alfred. Yeah,
Superman brings up Alfred, and then Bruce references the fact that Superman doesn't have a secret identity anymore. He says, "You just told everyone who you are."
Right.
So it kind of throws that in his face, like, "Hey, you're going to regret that soon, probably. So don't come running to me when you need that fixed." Right. So I like that part of it. Yeah, I like that it's just really deeply into continuity. Yeah, that's basically the issue. It's continuing the story. Dexter Soy's art's very good. I really like
Superman.
Yeah. Anything in the shadows, especially. I think my favorite page of the book is definitely Jefferson at the morgue looking down at the body. That page too is really good. But likewise, at the end when he's like sitting in the dark apartment on his own, and then Shiva shows up, like all that stuff looks great.
Yeah. Also, the conversation with Katana, I thought that was handled with the art very well too. Kind of very cinematic, where she's like, I walked that path. I had no problems killing, but you're not me. So think about this before you go down my way. And I just thought the art handled that really well. the wide shots and whatnot.
Yeah, for an issue with like basically no action, there's like one moment with Duke and Cass where they're taking out like a mugger before Batman comes to talk to them. But other than that, it is an issue of talking heads, and it never suffers for that art wise. Like the art is consistently given these really nice images to kind of chew on, and this is the thing. I don't need there to be action in comic books. Like it just needs to look good. It doesn't really matter what they're doing as long as it's interesting and creates an atmosphere and a mood and goes with whatever the story is. Then I'm on board, and I think this issue is an example of that. So yeah, solid. What are you giving it, Matt?
I'm gonna give this an 8.
I feel like I need more of a scale around this part of the 10-point system, because I feel like because this is around that level as well. But I feel like I need to differentiate between some of the. But I also give it 8. Not a whole lot to say. Very very simple, quick issue, but it doing what it needs to do in a very solid manner.